Ollie, mobile robots have been around since roughly the 50s, but it feels like they are the most hyped automation technology in logistics at the moment. Why?
Yeah, that's true. I think that's because a lot has happened since then.
And this is going to be exactly the content for episode 6. So stay with us and learn more about it.
Automation Awakenings, your weekly dose of best practices for logistics automation.
Welcome to the 6th episode of the Automation Awakenings podcast. And it's a milestone episode.
Absolutely. It's amazing. What happened, Matthias?
I don't know what happened, but I see a lot of lights and a cam in front of me. And I'm very excited to record this first episode, not only with audio, but also with video.
Yes, I'm also really excited. It's the first time for me to be in a studio, to talk into a camera, and we will do our best to make this experience as interesting as possible for you as well. For us, it's already super exciting, and I hope you like to see us and not only hear us.
Right. And the topic for today is also very exciting because we're going to break down why, from our point of view, there is such a hype and such an interest in the mobile robots technology. And I would give the first shot to Ollie.
Yes.
What is your top one reason?
Yeah, well, as you stated in our little intro, we know AGVs since the 1950s. And, there is a German wording for these AGVs, which I really like and which explain very well also how this technology could be seen. And this is FTS.
Okay.
And our German listeners will know it's a very long, difficult word. It's fahrerlose Transportsysteme. Oh my God, right? Even without understanding German, you feel this complex, heavy, costly systems. And today, nobody's talking, even in the German community, about FTS, right? It's an AGV or AMR.
Correct.
So my first game changer is the wording and the word automated guided vehicle. Because the first technological change was that finally you didn't have to put some magnetic tape, sometimes even inside the floor,
Yeah.
but this AGV started to maneuver based on the contours which it found in your warehouse. Yeah, and this is thanks to a huge step in technology, what is based on a laser navigation.
Yeah, I totally go with this. It's actually also my, let's say, top groundbreaking point because we can see a lot of development and a lot of progress in the navigation technology area where back in the 1980s, we've been operating with induction and magnets. Then in the 90s, it moved into the laser and reflector technology. And then since the 2000s, roughly, you have 2D SLAM. As since the 2010s, you have 3D SLAM and visual SLAM. And of course, this is a huge game changer because it allows this vehicle to be more flexible and more adaptable.
Yeah, absolutely. And for those of you who hear the word slam for the very first time, it has nothing to do with basketball. Yeah, it's simultaneous.
I think it's tennis, right? Grand Slam.
Sorry, yeah, I was in basketball. Was that? No, something else. Yeah. So simultaneous localization and mapping.
Okay.
And that means when the robot is driving around, it's creating the map. And in the same time, it's locating itself within this map.
Yeah.
And this is the first game changer, I would say, in the advancements of mobile robots.
Totally agree. And this actually leads to what I have as a second point, which I already mentioned, and that's the flexibility and scalability nature of this technology. So with the advancement of these new navigation technologies, it became way easier to deploy this technology and to also adapt this technology to changes in your layout, changes to your shop floor. And I remember us visiting a customer and him explaining that back in the day when he had the old, let's say FTS, the old AGV generation, he had to fly in some guys from Sweden every time he was changing his production line to basically drill open the floor and to, reconfigure the magnetic tape which was inside.
Yeah, wow, that sounds like a Mars mission, right? When you're thinking about it, what's possible today?
Yeah, they actually even looked like Mars or Moon rovers. So but thank God this is in the past, and now we have this really flexible and really scalable technology that is available, and we have a quite high market demand for these robots.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, 2D, 3D laser is really nice. But as you know, still there are some difficulties if you have narrow aisles or if light is a topic, sunlight, for example, could be an issue. Or, in these difficult environments in general, it might happen that you need to adapt or add things to your infrastructure.
Yeah.
Typical example still reflector tapes. It's a huge topic. I never expected that. Everybody assumes that you just buy this an AGV and it runs.
Yeah.
But that's actually not true. Often you still need reflector tapes or other type of reflectors. So the AGV during when it's running, it's not losing track. So now I'm coming to my second game changer: additional sensors, cameras, and I would say the interplay with software, which leads to very cool solution. You will get not only a 2D but a 3D map of your environment, and thanks to smart software, these robots, they don't need any adaptations to your infrastructure.
Yeah.
They really drive around and they understand where they are. They're updating their map, and that's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's some devices that basically are delivered to a location or to a facility. They are unpacked, and then after 2 to 3 days, not even, right? In some cases, even half a day, they're already deployed and they're able to drive the first orders. So that's really impressive. And of course, this fuels the reason why market demand is so high for this technology. Because, and that's also one of the, I would say, game changers that fuels the market demand, is not only the technology that is available and is very mature and very adaptable and flexible and so on, but we also actually see shortage of labor in many countries.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we are located in Germany, obviously, and what we hear a lot is that forklift drivers are basically a species that seems to be disappearing, right?
Yes, where are they? I don't know. It's so difficult to find, and not only in Germany.
Yeah, especially after Corona.
Yeah,
there was some shift. Probably people, they refocused or retrained or moved to other jobs, and it's very, very hard to get a good forklift driver on the market, which you have to hire via leasing companies I mean, like human resource leasing companies,
Yeah.
obviously. And then the cost is also really high. So
Yeah, you have to attract them also with higher wages at the end,
Yeah.
right? I mean, somebody has to drive the pallet
yeah.
around.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I think this is one of the, let's say, reasons that very well goes along at the moment with these technological advances that we see.
You know, for that, I heard a nice story of a HV manufacturer who actually had a completely different portfolio, but he started to produce an own HV just because he couldn't find people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they really started developing, and now they have their own AGV, and they sell it also to external parties now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know which provider you're talking about.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm allowed to disclose the name. That's why let's
Yeah.
keep it. But anyway, it's the story is interesting.
Yeah, totally. And kudos goes out to this particular provider. Maybe they realize we are talking about them. So
Nice story. Absolutely.
good story. Yeah.
If you cannot find a solution, then just build your own
Just
robot,
build your
right?
own robot.
Yeah.
So that's a great job. And it also shows that with the technology being available, the high market demand being in place due to shortage of labor and other effects like pandemics, etc. More and more companies invest into development and research of mobile robot.
Yeah.
And this ultimately leads to a very, very, I would say, very, very high selection of different AGV providers, which of course boosts competition, right?
I just counted them recently, and you know that we have over 500 AGV providers worldwide.
Yeah.
I mean, AGV and AMR. Yeah.
I mean, that's a rough estimation. I also read this number, actually in a report by our colleagues from STIQ, and they launch a report every year on the AGV and AMR robotics market.
Which is an awesome source of information.
Really an awesome report. So thanks a lot to you guys. We've been using this time and again, and it contains a lot of great information. So we can definitely recommend this report.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thank you guys.
Right. So we have these 500 vendors worldwide. And what of course happens is competition rises. And what comes with that, Olli?
Costs are being reduced.
Exactly. And this again fuels or cycles into the rising attention or attractiveness of this technology.
Yes, absolutely.
And what I also found, also in the STIQ report, is a very interesting market insight in the different world regions when it comes to the price competitiveness. And it seems like the competition among AGV and AMR providers in China is really extremely high at the moment. So prices are really decreasing heavily. And basically, AGVs and AMRs are becoming a commodity more and more.
So what makes the difference then?
You tell me.
Yeah, for sure, the software, the features of the software, the user experience of the software, and especially thinking about what can the end user do alone without involving the supplier again.
Yeah.
Things like changing the map, changing the source, the destination, creating new routes.
Yeah.
Imagine if you can do that on your own and you don't have to call them and to wait. I mean, one topic is money. You have to pay every time they come, even if it's a Teams call. But it's so much nicer if even you can train a student and he or she can just think about new use cases within your plant. That's it's really nice.
Totally.
So this is a big change or a new, let's say, feature of an AGV supplier. And of course, also the service network, the spare parts, where are they located? How fast can I get a spare part? These are new topics rising up now.
Yeah. And I'm sure we will have to record an episode just on that.
Yes, for sure.
Really something like how to become a successful AGV AMR supplier
Yeah.
or vendor.
It would be a nice episode.
Because it's not only down to the robot itself and the hardware, but it's basically all about the ecosystem, let's say, which is around the robot, around the product. And I would go as far as saying that with the advent of standardized software to orchestrate AGVs, like the VDA 5050 standard in Europe, I'm totally convinced that the prices of AGVs and AMRs will continue to really, really decrease even more, because we will have less of these standalone, let's say, hallmarks, right? Which is software at the moment. We're going to have more and more commoditization in the market.
Speaking about this, I have another game changer for you, which led to a much more interesting usage of these robots, and maybe it's not on the radar of everybody.
Okay.
And is the battery technology.
Oh, okay.
At the end. Yeah. I mean, now we have the possibility to use a new technology of batteries,
Yeah.
which make it possible to charge a robot within 3 minutes,
Wow.
and it will run 1 hour after that.
Wow.
Yeah. And these
Yeah.
batteries, of course, are also not so expensive anymore.
Mm.
And of course, this changes a lot. You don't need like spare robots just
Yeah.
because half of your
Right.
fleet is being recharged.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I actually never thought about it, but sure. I mean, I guess battery technology is taking huge advancements due to the reason that all of the mobility sector is basically switching to electrification at the moment. So, do you think some of the battery technology used for cars is also, benefiting the AGV AMR sector?
Yeah, for sure. There are many examples of that. I mean, these are lithium-ion batteries,
Yeah.
and they are coming from the car industry. They were invented at the beginning. To make it possible to electrify cars at the end. And all the technologies coming from automated driving, right? I mean, an automated car at the end is much more complex, especially the environment, of course.
Sure.
But at the end, we can learn from them how to drive a small robot in the warehouse.
Yeah, that's exciting. Wondering whether Tesla will launch their own AGV in the future.
You have to be careful. That might happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if Elon Musk is listening to us, hey, here's your next big thing. All right. Maybe let's wrap it up with a question, Ollie.
Sure.
Is the hype justified?
Yes, of course. I'm a big fan of mobile robots, and I see that these robots are getting it's a big fun to implement them.
Yeah.
We are not talking about that, but to summarize all of that,
Yeah.
the experience you have when implementing mobile robots is so positive. And from the beginning, it's much easier to calculate the return on invest, to convince your boss. Then this mobile robot arrive. The whole life cycle is nicer. You you can play around with it. You can create your own routes. And at the end, you make it possible to move your goods in an automated way. And you are, as an engineer, as a logistics engineer, you are involved through the whole life cycle into this process. And it just makes a lot of fun.
I hear you, but I have a different opinion.
All right.
So I think that AGVs and AMRs are overhyped or overheated to a certain extent. I get the feeling that many people hear or read it or maybe see it at a fair or see it in another company and they feel like they also have to get it. And they also think that once they get AGVs, they're going to solve all of the issues they currently have in intralogistics.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
That's dangerous. And remember us actually consulting even 2 customers where we had to tell them, guys, take it easy. Your AGV strategy is really inspiring, but you better just use your manual vehicles, your manual fleets for some of these transports.
We had it, yeah.
And sometimes it feels like we have to protect customers from really, doing the mistake and going too big time into the topic.
Yeah, interesting thoughts.
Because, and I'm going to finish with this, I think they're overhyped, or I think that AGVs and AMRs are overhyped because people simply forget that it's not just about bringing in a new piece of technology. It is a lot about process engineering. It is about really designing your processes in a way that you ensure they are efficient, they are, serving the purpose, and they avoid the waste you see. And if you bring in automation technology and adapt them to let's say a bad process, you're gonna get a bad automated process.
I think this is a nice conclusion of this episode, and you touched several points which are enough for further episodes for sure. So let's keep them in our topics backlog.
Exactly.
But I think for now, we are already at the end of this first episode, including video. So I hope we did a good job for you.
Yeah.
For sure, we will learn and improve. But for me, it was a lot of fun recording this. In a real studio environment. So happy that we finally managed it. Right?
I can totally agree to this. It was a real pleasure, and it was a great experience. And we're going to continue down this road. So let us know what you think about this video format. Tune in next Monday for the next episode. Thank you for joining. Take care and goodbye.
Thank you very much. And bye-bye.
This was another episode of the Automation Awakenings podcast. Visit us at automation-awakenings.com.